he did find something out. Sonia, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could like live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Ten seconds remaining.
There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up. And Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
Five, 3.
Red 57! Red 57! Hot, hot!
I don't believe what I just saw!
Bill McDonald!
McKenzie kicks a 38-yard field goal on the final play of the football game. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
It is a great night to be a Mountaineer wherever you may be.
From the home of the state's land-grant institution, inside the Health Plan Studios, in the Dale B. Miller Building in Morgantown, it's time for the state's most listened to sports talk show. This is the CityNet statewide sports cybersecurity experts for the digital age. And now, across the state of West Virginia and beyond, Sportsline is on the air.
Sportsline for Wednesday. Thanks for joining us. We're all assembled here for the first time in a while. Kyle Wiggs, Greg Hunter, Brad Howe. Greg, good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Brad back after uneventful travel back home.
Finally.
Good evening.
Good to see you all. And we've got a lot to talk about. Of course, the Mountaineer basketball team lost in overtime at Oklahoma State, 91-84. We'll get into that. The baseball team wins its home opener today, 19-6. 19-6 over Ohio University. West Virginia was 16 hits, and it was a good day because 16 players got an at-bat, and just about as many pitchers
10
were in the game. 10? Okay, 10 pitchers in the game. So the Mountaineers win at home over Ohio University, 19-6, and West Virginia keeps its good start going as the Mountaineers are 6-1 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very good day. Started off with a snow plow on the field, getting about an inch of snow off of Kendrick Family Ballpark.
It was snowing like crazy here at 9:30 in the morning. The field was covered, and they played a baseball game at 1:30.
Yeah, and got it through. Turned out to be 49-50 in Morgantown, so not saying it was pure spring weather, but relatively decent once they got the snow removal. And Brad, you college baseball people.
Yeah.
What you have to go through in the spring to get on the field is
It was
amazing.
beautiful today. It was close to 50. The sun came out. The field looked great, and they got after it. A couple of the new guys were really good again, right? Enish, Schoenfeld had big days again, so nice way to start the home season. What's great about college baseball in the spring, though, guys, is exactly what happened this week. Canisius has been scheduled for yesterday for how long?
Yeah.
They not only postponed the opener yesterday, they just scrapped the whole game
Find
and
a new
opponent,
team.
get a new team, roll them in here today, play. Ohio U rolled over this morning, got here,
that's true.
got off the bus, warmed up, practiced, played a game, hops back on the bus, heads the 2.5 hours back to Athens, Ohio. Welcome to college baseball.
That's what you got to do. Just things you have to endure to play baseball in the Eastern time zone. In Northeast in particular. So we invite your text, 304-TALK-304, on any of these topics, and we'll start with the basketball team. By the way, we hope to hear from Coach Steve Sabins. We'll get his post-game comments if they become available here in the next 50 minutes or so. But Mountaineer basketball team, again, another valiant comeback effort, down 14, battled all the way back in the second half, tied the game, but had more turnovers than baskets in overtime. They get outscored 14-7 in overtime and lose 91-84 at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, tremendous comeback. Well, let's start from the beginning. Rough first half in terms of defense and blocking the paint out like West Virginia normally does. I thought Oklahoma State did a really nice job of attacking inside West Virginia and were blistering hot to build out that lead. Then West Virginia, as you mentioned, Kyle, another 14-point deficit that they battle all the way back from and tied that game up to force overtime. And then that, you just don't have much time in overtime and things can change quickly. And Oklahoma State hit a tough shot to start off overtime. West Virginia, on the flip side, had 3 unbelievable looks to start overtime. I'd classify all of them as layups. You're within a foot of the basket there, and none of the 3 dropped. And that right there, when you didn't make any of those 3, that's to me where it kind of felt like it was starting to slip away. And it's a shame because offensively you were back. And that was an Oklahoma State team, guys, that just really isn't interested in guarding you at all. We thought going in there would be a lot of open shots available, and there were a ton. And you go through the numbers at the end of the game, and certainly the score was in Oklahoma State's favor. West Virginia does not want to play a game where it gets up in the high 80s or the 90s. It did, and West Virginia was able to score with them because they were hot and they were making shots. But you walk out of that, the same number of 2-point field goals made. West Virginia had 2 more threes than Oklahoma State did, but that game swung at the free throw line. The Cowboys had 15 more free throw attempts and made 13 more shots in a game that came down to a possession or two. So in my mind, that was really the difference. There were a couple things you can point to, but to me, the Cowboys' ability to get fouls called and get to the line was the biggest difference in that game.
Brad, you were there courtside, so obviously the foul line was a huge factor. Good whistle, bad whistle. Did the whistle go okay, and West Virginia just wasn't very good in that regard? How was the whistle?
Oh, that's tough because I'm so biased when I look at that in terms of West Virginia. I thought there were multiple opportunities to call some other fouls on West Virginia. I'll say this, Ross was about as heated a couple of different times as I've seen him. There were some fouls early on. If you go back into that, the first 3 fouls called on West Virginia were all contesting three-point shots. You maybe see 1 or 2 of those a season. You don't see 1 or 2 a game, and you never see 3, and you never see 3 to start the game as your first 3 fouls. So, yeah, I think there was some questionable ones there. I thought the game was played. Here's what I would say, Greg. The game was played in similar fashion, right? There wasn't like West Virginia was shooting all threes and Oklahoma State was going inside. So to have that big of a free throw or a disparity is surprising. Now, and I'm not trying to be flippant or funny here, part of that was West Virginia was guarding a lot tighter than Oklahoma State was. There's a reason there weren't a lot of fouls called because in a lot of times West Virginia was wide open on its shots from a defensive perspective. But regardless of good whistle or bad, there's no doubt the style of officiating and the way those numbers showed up were a massive difference in that game.
You always talk about getting the right people to the free throw line, and when that happens, magically the free throw percentage is significantly better. But it just seems like Huff and Eagle staff don't get to the line consistently. How can that be? I know Honor's got more free throws attempted than anybody on the team, but particularly during this stretch, it doesn't seem like they're getting there.
Well, last night in particular is because Honor was on the perimeter all night. And again, guys, he was wide open last night. They were losing him regularly. They could not keep up with him at all. And so he had 13 field goal attempts. 12 of them came from 3. So that's why. I mean, he just wasn't taking the ball inside. Trey, on the other hand, he had 8 of his 13 shots were 3. I thought he was a guy who got hit a couple times on contact. To me, where they're doing a disservice to Honor is it's unbelievable what happens away from the ball with him. And I know if you're watching on TV, you can't necessarily see that. And certainly if you're listening to us, you're not seeing it, obviously. It's not just physical off the ball. That's this league. This is a physical league. It's the grabbing, the holding, the putting 2 arms around you. It's when he goes in to set a pick, they're coming in like trying to clinch and wrap up like boxers do when they're tired. So if Honor's going to get some more fouls called, it definitely should be off the ball.
Defensively for West Virginia, we know Oklahoma State is one of the best offenses in the Big 12, but defensively for the Mountaineers, other than a stretch in the second half, Oklahoma State was scoring a ton. So was it defensive problems for West Virginia, or were the Cowboys just as good as advertised on offense?
They were okay on offense. What they do, it's not necessarily an efficient offense. They try and get it's like the opposite of West Virginia. West Virginia wants to control the pace with limited possessions. They want to get as many possessions as they can. They'll quite frankly let you score so they can go back the other way. They don't shoot it well from 3. They don't shoot it well from 2, but they get more possessions than you do on offense. And last night, they did shoot it better. I thought they made some incredibly difficult shots in the second half where West Virginia was contesting and right on them, and they made them. The first half is what you'll go back to, and I thought that was just good offense by Oklahoma State, and West Virginia lost some of its assignments and didn't close the lane off like it has in most games, and they took advantage down low, and their bigs, Parsifala was very good, and they knew that. He was at the top of the scouting report. His ability to get deep in post-ups, you allowed him to do that. Vukovic came in after that and had I don't know if it was a season high, but it was well above his average. He put up 12 as well. So I thought they were really good in the first half where they shot, whatever it was, 55% in the first half, and I thought that's what put you in a real hole.
Oklahoma State shot 58% in the first half,
there was
17 of 29, and cooled off in the second half, 10 of 27, then hit their shots in overtime, hit big shots in overtime. So they finish the game at 49% from the field and 10 of 23 from 3. And as you point out, West Virginia hit 12. So that's a good thing, obviously. It had been 8 games since way back to the Arizona State game, 8 games since West Virginia had double-digit made three-point shots or shot better than 30% from 3 in a game. So that part was a positive.
Honor was incredible. 6 threes made for him, and again, he just for the first time, maybe all season, had some open looks, and they had a real hard time staying in front of him, either when he had the ball or when he was off ball. So he hits the 6, moves into 4th place all-time single-season made threes, past Kevin Pittsnoggle, to tell you what kind of season Honor is having. So he was tremendous. Trey hit a bunch, but unfortunately it was could have used a couple more of them to put you over the hump.
Yeah, unfortunately for West Virginia, 12 threes in a game. It's only the second game all year when they've got to double-digit threes and have lost. And the other one was Ohio State in overtime as well.
So Huff with 96 threes on the year and on his way to continue to climb that ladder. You know, the crazy thing is here, again, we talked about this last night, Greg, 16-12 after last night's loss, but BYU, sellout crowd, no Richie Saunders, long trip, they're gettable. Kansas State on the road, gettable. You've already beaten Central Florida. Then you're on into Kansas City. This team can still match last year's win total.
I would prefer if BYU wouldn't have gacked one up last night at home to UCF.
Oh,
That's
not just
incredible. They were
hammered.
down 36 in the second half. Incredible loss and not showing up. So unfortunately, I think West Virginia is going to get BYU's best punch when they come in here. And again, no Richie Saunders, you're right, but all that's done is turn DeBonsa up. A.J. DeBonsa has kicked it into another gear as he now leads the nation in scoring. So that's a gettable, sure, but that's a real challenge coming in here Saturday, no doubt.
They were destroyed last night, 52-28 at the half, and Central Florida wins 97-84. So Central Florida, that's 20 wins. That pretty much locks up an NCAA spot for them unless the bottom falls out.
Yeah, they're saying most have them projected somewhere in the 9 seed range right now, one of the bottom 9 seeds. So we'll see if they can hang on.
And they're playing without Kugler, right? They're playing without their leading scorer the last couple of games. Didn't play last night, although they got tremendous performances from Burks and Falks, which we know very good players. 97-84 the final there. Central Florida over BYU. We'll check the texts when we return, 304-TALK 304. Also get a little bit deeper into West Virginia's baseball win today, 19-6 over Ohio University. Stay with us as the Sportsline continues. Running a small business is hard enough. Dealing with tech problems shouldn't be part of the job. CityNet helps West Virginia businesses keep their technology running smoothly, whether you need full tech support or just extra help from a small IT team. From security and backups to day-to-day support, CityNet's local experts have you covered. Call today at 1-844-CityNet.
Cyber criminals don't send flowers or Valentine's cards. They send phishing emails, ransomware, and fake login requests designed to look harmless but capable of doing serious damage. CityNet helps businesses stay protected with layered cybersecurity solutions, continuous monitoring, and expert support right here in West Virginia. This Valentine's Day, don't fall for the wrong kind of attention. Learn more at citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
The Mountain East Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament presented by the Health Plan is back at Wheeling's West Banco Arena, March 4th through the 8th. Past men's basketball national finalists West Liberty and Fairmont State, and 2022 women's basketball national champion Glenville State will be featured from the highest scoring NCAA Division II basketball conference in the country. Visit westbancoarena.com for advanced tickets and Tournament Central at mountaineast.org for tournament information, stories, results, event schedule, streaming, and television broadcast information. Join us for the Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships presented by the Health Plan, March 4th through the 8th at West Banco Arena in Wheeling.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You know CityNet is West Virginia's leading technology company. Whether we're managing IT infrastructures, protecting the critical data and networks of our region's businesses, or providing fiber broadband, TV, and phone services, we are your go-to experts. We're also a strong partner in the communities in which we serve. CityNet, your trusted technology partner. Learn more about us, visit citynet.net.
You want to know what West Virginia is talking about?
It's good to be back in Morgantown today.
Now it's different.
I think it's mostly just business.
What I voted for and what I think makes the most sense.
Well, Dave, this has been a bit of a controversy.
I want to thank the caller last week that said I sounded like Hoppy Kercheval. That was flattering.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline on Metro News Television.
Coming up on the Sports Line, your thoughts on West Virginia's contest at Oklahoma State last night. Mountaineers get beat on the road. But first, we're going to hear from Mountaineer baseball coach Steve Sabins as West Virginia wins its home opener today 19-6. The game ended half an hour or so ago, maybe 35 minutes ago. And West Virginia, 19 runs, 16 hits, no errors. Ohio U, 6 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Matt Einich at the top of West Virginia's lineup, 4 for 5, 3 runs scored, 3 RBI. He's hitting a robust .538 so far. You had a couple of home runs in this contest, one from Matthew Gravlin, his third of the year, his team best third of the year. Brock Willis in the starting lineup in right field. He hits a home run today and drives in 3. And West Virginia wins big. Again, 10 pitchers were used. David Hagan won it. He gets the win. He pitches the first 2 innings, 2 scoreless innings. Postgame with WVU baseball coach Steve Sabins.
Yep, always great to open up at home. Our field crew did an incredible job. There was quite a bit of snow on the field before we ever got going today. It didn't look that promising, and I thought we got the field and the stadium in incredible shape to be able to open up at home, and it's always great to get a win.
What goes into making a call? I mean, like you said, it was kind of borderline. It's supposed to get a little bit better, but you have to clean the field and then look at the condition and say, yeah, we can go, no, we can't.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and we just want to have a good day of baseball, so having the ability to prepare was important. So having the indoor facility was huge today. We didn't always have that luxury in this program, and so being able to have the indoor and then we actually ended up being able to take pregame defense out there, but I think the football facilities crew lent us a broom and a tractor, which really helped. We were able to redistribute a lot of the rubber pellets that go into the turf field. And so we got it in great shape. The field looked as good as ever.
What did you think of David's start today? And then the pitching staff as a whole, I think you guys went through 10 pitchers today, so a lot of arms you get to see.
Yeah. Hagen was good. Hagen is a sophomore that got some starts as a true freshman for us and ended up getting hurt. So he's had to work really hard basically coming back from this injury. So we feel like he's kind of right back where he left off freshman year of developmentally. And so we got high hopes for the guy. He's extremely intelligent. He is hardworking. He's consistent. So he has all the right makings of a starting pitcher. So as he develops, we want to keep putting him in games, getting experience. We went in today's game with a plan of trying to get 8 arms in the game. There were quite a few pitchers that haven't pitched for us yet because we hadn't played a midweek. And all that getting guys in or any of that, that's a luxury. You have to be able to win the game first and foremost. But if you want to be best at the end of the season, you have to get guys experience. There's no way around it because you're always one injury away from next man up. And so it's really important to get those arms. And so sometimes you feel like you're setting the team up potentially for some volatility by doing that. And that's just something that you have to wear. And then obviously if you can score runs and you can separate a little bit in some of these midweek games, it allows you the freedom to get that developmental curve sped up.
So Armani at first, I don't think I ever heard that in preseason. What was up with that? They seem like getting the spin sale.
Yeah. Armani's never taken a ground ball at first before today, so that's pretty unusual. Yeah, seriously. He played second the entire fall, and he started in a super and a regional at third base. So he's a capable infielder for sure. But it's come down to today, we wanted to get 9 specific players in the game offensively, and we wanted to start Gavin Kelly behind the dish. And in order to do that, we had to make a decision to put Guzman at first or to put Paul Schoenfeld at first base, because when Kelly catches, Kresser goes to second. When Graveline catches, Kelly can go to second. And so we've had this, we've been working on this for a long time with first base options, and we certainly have them. But today we wanted those 9 guys to get at-bats. We needed to get Brock Wills more at-bats. He's had a lot of success, and we think he's a great player. And so last night I texted Schoenfeld and Guzman. I said, who's the better first baseman between you guys? And Paul said Guzman, and Guzman said me. And I said, did you guys collaborate before you sent this text message back to me? And they both sent pictures of me sitting at dinner together. So they had sat there at dinner. They were at dinner together when I texted them, just happenstance. But Guzman did a nice job. He picked a ball. He caught every ball. He was asking Jimmy in the middle of the game, our Coach Rasinger, our infield coach, is this how I stand? Is this the right? And I was like, Goose, I put you over there just to catch the ball. Don't ask questions. Don't think about mechanics. Just catch the ball. We certainly today have the fastest first baseman in the nation.
Did he have a first baseman?
He used Ben Lumsden's first baseman, Smith. Yeah. He had.
It sounds like just maybe a one-off.
Not necessarily. I think never would do that unless I thought there was a possibility of that happening in the future. So certainly not for fun or to get those 9 guys or a disrespect to the opponent. It was strictly how do we have our best team? And so trying to figure out truly how do you have the best team if Kelly's catching, because I think there is an opportunity we have our best team with Kelly catching. Maybe it's with Graveline, but it's probably too early to tell, and both those guys have been fantastic behind the dish. Schoenfeld has been tremendous in the outfield. His jumps, his reads off the bat, he's been incredible. And so I think today it showed up really big, right? Like Graveline had an assist in left field at the plate, and then he started the relay throw that threw the guy out at the plate. So Graveline was responsible for 2 outs essentially at the plate with an incredible arm in left field, and he's more used to playing left field Matthew Graveline is what he did at Ohio State, and Wills already has an assist in right field and is a really, really good runner as well. And so we thought this is a possibility that this could happen more, and so we just ripped the Band-Aid off today, essentially. Because the later you get in the season, it starts. You're in conference play, the competition elevates, guys get a little bit more comfortable, and at that point, it's very difficult to make those moves.
Bryson Thacker coming in a tough position.
Yeah.
I think it just fits in your thing of see what guys can do in tough situations.
That's it, and today, usually when you're throwing younger guys or guys with less experience, you try to put a strike thrower on top. So essentially, you bring in somebody that doesn't have that experience, or you don't necessarily know what you're going to get under the lights, and then you're warming up a strike thrower on top. And we viewed Bryson as a strike thrower, and now Thacker leads our team in appearances. I think he has 4 on the year, and so I believe last year at Tennessee he had 4 innings total, and we just feel like we kind of hit the jackpot with Bryson Thacker because he loves the moment. And so he's one of those kind of throwback dudes where whether you're up 9 or down 9, he truly doesn't care. He's so interested in just having the ball and pitching, where he gives you the best every time. I don't think the scoreboard dictates how he pitches, and he's extremely confident in his abilities. I love handing him the ball. He thinks he's going to get everybody out every time.
What went into putting Heinich and Kelly at the top of the order?
Today, in this lineup with the 9 guys that we chose, we have 5 right-handed hitters and we have 4 left-handed hitters. And so if you go Einik to lead off and Guzman in the 3-hole, you're basically able to go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right until the 8-9 hole is right, right, and then back to left. So not having too many clumpings of right and left-handed hitters potentially allows for opposing coaches not to make bullpen moves where they can match up left on left or right on right with like a nasty right on right slider or a left on left slider, something like that. So if they're going to make a move, oftentimes it's only advantageous for one hitter. And so like in general, you like that. It doesn't mean you always have to roll with that. Einik also leads our team in quality at bats, is extremely patient, is on a complete ridiculous heater to start a season, unlike anything we've really ever seen. And so having that guy hit more than anybody and to start the game off most likely with a quality at bat is a good thing. It's more art than science. I think Kelly is more aggressive. I like Kelly's mentality oftentimes as a leadoff hitter because he swings the bat. It's aggressive. He can jump a fastball 0-0 to start a game and hit a double. Einik's actually more of that traditional leadoff guy, high on base, patient, draws pitches. Other people on deck can see the pitches and how the pitcher reacts. And so I did like Einik today in the leadoff. It was I think a good thing that we may see more of. And Kelly's been fantastic, and he's one of the best hitters in the country. I have no doubt about that. So we'll see, but both those guys need to be at the top there somewhere.
Steve Saban's there, excellent answers as we expect, talking about Matt Einik there in the leadoff spot that's saying a lot. He says he's on a tear like he's never seen before. He had a guy a few years ago hit 450 for the season in J.J. Weatherholt. But Einik playing against his former team today at Ohio University.
Well, and what'd you just say he's hitting? He's hitting 538
he's hitting
on the
538,
year. Yeah, pretty good tear right there. What an answer on Armani Guzman. That was that was tremendous. Fun story there by Sabes. He's turning into maybe the best coach interview on this campus, and there's a lot of good ones, but he is way up there. But that's also, guys, a couple things. That's hard to play first base. Like playing second, short, and third, you can kind of make that. There's some difference in nuances, but you're still kind of an infielder. The first baseman's a whole different position over there, so to play that's really impressive, having never played it. But then number 2, it continues this trend of West Virginia the last few years. They really do have some interchangeable parts, don't they?
Yeah.
Saban's right now is running this like Rich says he wants to run football, Hunter, with multiple people playing multiple
offense,
positions.
Defense, wherever,
Yeah, and Steve's playing that right now with multiple guys in different spots.
It was a great line. I mean, you just put Guzman out there, just catch the ball, don't get hurt.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Just catch the ball.
Catch the ball and don't get hurt. And then what a luxury to have 2 center fielders, basically. You can't do that. You can't take the best center fielder out unless you've got another best center fielder, and they do.
And you mix that in, and then you take what's maybe your best overall player in Gavin Kelly, and he can play an infield position or catch. That's kind of non-traditional
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of options and possibilities, and you heard him say the reason for doing that, and it's similar to what you hear Greg offensive line coaches will say,
Sure.
want to put the best 5 out there,
Yep.
right? Or you say that in basketball. Well, Saban's is trying to do that. Put your best 9 on the field regardless of the position.
You know, it is interesting in Einich. I'm not going to say there's ever another Jay Weatherholt anytime soon, right? But that left-handed swing, which just looks so pretty to begin with, no matter who does it.
It's always prettier.
And he hasn't yet displayed the power that Weatherholt certainly had throughout his career. But boy, he hits the ball well. Every ball he hits has hard contact off that left side.
And I'm glad he brought up Bryson Thacker, too, because that's a guy who, for some reason, didn't get an opportunity at Tennessee. That's a guy who, in high school, struck out 366 batters in 170 innings, and then didn't pitch at Tennessee. Coach said he had, 4 total innings. This is his 4th appearance of the season today, and it looks like he's going to be one of the cornerstones of this staff.
Yeah, it's a good point, Kyle. And it didn't matter in the final score, but it mattered in the moment when he pitched out of that bases-loaded jam. That was a tremendous job by him. And also mentioning Brock Wills with the home run today, got that in there, right?
Yeah.
He went deep earlier today. So, yeah, they got a lot done today.
So this team moves on to play at Kennesaw State this weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are those games, and then the Mountaineers right back home next Tuesday and Wednesday. And I peeked ahead at the weather. It's going to be in the 50s again both days, although, of course, it's way out. It's the weather forecast will change 7 times between now and next Tuesday, but there's a chance for rain on both of those days, but the temperature is expected to be in the 50s. So West Virginia against Radford on Tuesday and on Wednesday of next week. That's the next chance to see them at home. All right, we promised the text. We will get to those in a moment. I also want to remind you to stay tuned for High School Sportsline. We got a really diverse show coming up tonight. How about this, guys? We're going to have one of the best swimmers in the state, one of the best baseball players in the state, and one of the best girls basketball players in the state, all coming up on High School Sportsline. Riley Storm of John Marshall, first-team All-State last year and a candidate for Player of the Year this year. Slade Barton, who's a WVU signee from George Washington previously, but he has moved with his family to North Central West Virginia and will be pitching at Morgantown High this year. So he's scheduled to join us on High School Sportsline. And also Kenneth McLaughlin of George Washington High School won another individual state championship at George Washington, helped that team win a team title, and he is signed to continue his athletic career in swimming at WVU. So that's all coming up on High School Sportsline, along with George Washington boys basketball coach Rick Green, Travis Tarr of Winfield, the boys coach, and East Fairmont girls coach James Beckman. So stay tuned for High School Sportsline tonight, 7:06 until 9 o'clock. We'll get to the texts when we return. We remind you that high school basketball fans can see where your team ranks each week. Check out the Tudors Biscuit World Power Rankings at WVMetroNews.com. Those will be updated on Friday going into postseason play, the Tudors Biscuit World High School Basketball Power Rankings. And we're back on the sports line after this.
Kids are active, and sometimes injuries happen. At WVU Medicine Golisano Children's, our orthopedics team specializes in caring for growing bones, joints, and muscles. From sports injuries and fractures to scoliosis and complex conditions, we provide advanced treatment with a gentle touch because kids deserve care designed just for them. Call 855-WVU-CARE to schedule an evaluation or visit WVUkids.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
The weekend's almost here, and are you looking for the perfect way to enjoy the water? Lou Wendell Marine Sales has you covered with Avalon pontoon boats. These luxurious high-performance pontoons offer smooth rides, spacious seating, and top-tier durability. Built with precision and style, Avalon pontoons deliver comfort and reliability season after season. Visit Lou Wendell Marine Sales today and experience the Avalon difference. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
New year, new trucks. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
CityNet statewide Sportsline, thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, 304 Talk 304. Tax reaction to the game last night, also West Virginia baseball today as well. Texter says in the overtime period, Honor Huff didn't touch the ball the first 4 possessions, and I don't think Eagle staff touched it at all. Listening to Hodges' post-game remarks, it seemed like the strategy was to go inside. With both those guys shooting well last night, it seemed like they would have been more involved in OT.
Yeah, but you got 3 layups out of that. So I'm of all the things you're going to nitpick, it's not going to be that because you got right to the basket. And yeah, you were really heating it. You were heating up from everywhere. You were scoring from inside. Those guys were shooting from the outside. But West Virginia is much better, and its planned attack is to work inside and then kick back out for threes. In the first half, that's one of the things West Virginia was not doing. It had a near 70% three-point attempt rate in the first half. So 70% of its shots were three-pointers in the first half, and that was one of the things Ross wanted to correct is get inside, try and score there, and then kick back out. West Virginia's percentages on threes go way up when they work from inside out, and if you can get the layup, you take the layup. You just happen to miss 3 in a row.
I chuckle a little bit reading the next text because it says, good game by the baseball team today in front of that huge, in all caps, crowd. Well, there might have been more people at the baseball game today than there were at the basketball game last night.
Yeah.
I kid.
It's interesting how far Oklahoma State's fallen from what they were. And Greg, if you remember, and this surprised me that it's been almost 25 years since they did that renovation. I would have lost that bet completely. That feels like it was only a decade or so ago. But it's really changed, and I know it coincided with their programming not winning as many games. But they're to the point now, guys, they curtain off
That's
that
incredible.
upper level. So they spent however many tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions to renovate that building, and they curtain off that top. And then, it was not well attended. What they announced,
5,000 on the box score.
And as we know, that's tickets distributed, not people there. So it's interesting how far that program has fallen.
Well, you need that upper deck for wrestling.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They did. We went over to Tony and I snuck into the Iowa-Oklahoma State wrestling meet, and there wasn't a seat in the house.
They had 12,000 plus for wrestling and fewer than 5,000 for basketball.
Yeah, it was crazy.
304 Talk 304. Texter wondering if Brad knows how many layups the team has missed this year. And once again, foul shooting has been terrible all year. Is there a stat for that, for missed layups?
Yeah, it's surprising. West Virginia is kind of well above the national average, believe it or not. They're shooting 67% on shots at the rim, and the national average is only 62%. So West Virginia is above that. And I know they stick out when you miss because I'm the same way. It makes you absolutely crazy. And
well, especially in overtime like
and
that.
West Virginia's had a bunch. They had a bunch at TCU too, and a missed dunk, a missed layup at the end of the half, 2 missed layups at the end of the half. So they're really impactful when you miss them. But believe it or not, on the season, West Virginia above the national average.
And, in terms of foul shooting, you look at UCF, a game West Virginia wins, it's very close. They're great from the foul line that day. Now, again, Honor Huff and Trace and the Eagle staff were the ones shooting them, but
I think
when
that's
they've
the
been
difference.
good, they can win close games.
Greg, I think that's one of those, and Kyle, you'll get this. You're a baseball guy. Baseball's a really individualistic team sport, right? You do a lot of team stats, but really it comes down to the individuals and what they're doing. Free throw shooting's the same way. We mostly talk about it as a team stat when it's really not a team stat. It's an individual stat. Who's at the line shooting your free throws generally dictates whether your team is good or not at the line. And West Virginia, you just alluded to it, when you've made a lot of your free throws, it's been your 2 best shooters at the line. When you haven't, it's been a lot of your other players.
Honor Huff is 101 for 120 from the free throw line. That's 85%.
Correct.
So that's probably top 5 to 8% in the country.
It's pretty well up there.
Pretty close. Like you say, Lorient's next at 75. Trayson's after that at 73. So, there you go. You get the right people at the line. 304 Talks 304. We got a triple text.
Hold on. Honor's in the top 8% nationally.
Okay. I said 5 to 8%. Triple text from this individual says the baseball team scored more runs than football against Ohio U, which is true. That was 17 to 10 was the final, and baseball team scored 19 runs today. The same texter says WVU fans would rather lose like that last night than win a game in the 50s. I think you take wins regardless of how they come.
Yeah, and that certainly wasn't the case under Huggs, right? I mean, this is you played, you were defensive minded, and again, if you look at this league, it's really hard to win games, and Oklahoma State did last night. I realize that without playing defense, but it's hard to have sustained success in this league without guarding.
And then the same texter says the NBA is taken over in Oklahoma, and that is a fact. I mean, that's damaged Oklahoma and Oklahoma State.
Talked to a lot of their people about that specifically while we're out there. They agree with that sentiment that's been a big, big change in both of those programs, but it's especially hurt Oklahoma State's program. There's no doubt.
304 Talk 304 texter concerning the Steve Sabins. Golly, that was great stuff. Baseball's the best. So that was a rather entertaining interview, and he's good every time.
Steve. Yeah, every time.
Let's see, 304 Talk 304. This is a little bit of a longer one, but I'll get into it here. We have time. We got time. Last year, Honor Huff led the nation in three-point field goal percentage in a fast-paced environment. Eagle staff put up 40 points in an NCAA tournament game last year on a fast-paced team. So what happened this year to both of them? You've got to turn them loose in a fast-paced environment. That's what I see. That's what the way I see what has happened to both of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors there. Totally different level of competition for both of them. And again, as I mentioned earlier in the program, if you haven't been to a game live and seen what Honor takes off the ball in terms of the physicality and the holding, it would blow your mind. And so that's a factor. And then on Trey's side of things, Greg, we've talked about this since June. And so there's a bunch of things with Trey. Is that he's made himself into a really good defender and an outstanding rebounder. So his all-around game has blossomed here at West Virginia. That's why he came here. That's what his folks thought they could come to West Virginia with this staff and turn into a more well-rounded basketball player. But on the offensive side, the other part of that is When he was at North Dakota, he was the one guy that had to score on that team. There was no passing the basketball. He was get the ball and take a shot. On this particular team, he's got other players on there that can score and other players that can shoot it, Honor namely. So it's changed his offensive game. He wasn't going to come in here and put up 40 on multiple nights in this offense, but he has acclimated extremely well as an overall basketball player.
I like the fact that he is now trying to get to the rim more than he did earlier in the year. He used to be just seemingly an outside jump shooter, and now he's trying to change a little bit. And he was good from the outside last night, but he's also realizes he's defended differently and has to at times drive it. And I think he's gotten much better there.
Agree.
304 Talk 304. We'll check the line when we return on the CityNet statewide sports line. Since 1979, the health plan has called West Virginia home. From humble beginnings, they've grown alongside West Virginia, becoming a part of its fabric. For over 4 decades, they've been here through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses, proudly serving West Virginia for over 40 years. The health plan.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Answering a text or phone call while driving. Seems pretty harmless, right? But in the 5 seconds you took your eyes off the road to respond, you missed the girl riding her bike across the street. You missed the dog who darted into the road. And you missed the stop sign. And while it was just a ticket this time, it could have been worse. In fact, more than 700 people are injured in distracted driving crashes each day. Keep yourself and others safe. Don't drive distracted. Just drive. This message was brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program.
Worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to WVMetroNews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to WVMetroNews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
Starting March 10th, Metro News brings you the 2026 West Virginia SSAC High School Basketball Championships, presented by Chick-fil-A.
First title for Spring Mills and boys basketball.
The best teams in the state will once again meet at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center to compete for the title in their respective classes. The girls' tournament runs March 10th through 14th. The boys play March 17th through the 21st. Catch all the games on the Metro News Radio Network and at WVMetroNews.com, where you'll also find up-to-the-minute scoring, stats, and brackets, the latest tournament news, and game recaps. Also, you can watch the live HD video streams of the class championships both Saturdays on Metro News Television.
The luck and skill of the Irish, they win the AA championship.
The 2026 West Virginia SSAC State High School Basketball Championships beginning March 10th, presented by Chick-fil-A, exclusively on Metro News, the voice of high school basketball in West Virginia.
In West Virginia, success doesn't just happen. It's crafted with determination and opportunity. At Mountaineer Challenge Academy, cadets find a secure, structured haven where success is highly attainable. Graduates can then elevate their future with Mountaineer Job Challenge, with hands-on career training, gaining industry certifications, and job placements. It's more than education. It's transformation. Ready to earn your diploma and change your life? Discover the challenge at WVChallenge.org. Opportunity awaits.
Live from the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide sports line returns in 2 minutes on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art.
conversation starts long before the game. 3 guys before the game. Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for 3 Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
The Health Plan proudly supports our active and healthy communities and has been your most trusted carrier for over 40 years. Log on to healthplan.org for more information.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
Final few minutes on the sports line here. A couple of additional baseball notes. Pirates today. Paul Skeens makes his spring debut. 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit allowed, 1 run, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So Skeens getting his first spring start. Connor Griffin not in the lineup today after he homered twice. Pirates have the top prospect in baseball in Connor Griffith. He hit 2 home runs yesterday and drove in 4. So Pirate fans are ready, man. They're ready for the season. Is he going to
start up?
Good question. Good question. Ask again in about 2 or 3 weeks to see if he continues to hit. So you got Connor Griffin there, the top prospect. J.J. Weatherholt, a top 5 prospect in baseball. Keeping an eye on him. He started today. The Cardinals are doing something kind of weird where their starting infielders start one game, and then the next game their starting outfielders start. So JJ's played in 3 of the 5 games, and this was one of the games today where the infielder started. So JJ led off and played shortstop.
So you've got him projected as a starting infielder on the opening day roster?
Yes, unless he's got to hit. But yes, the door is open for him to start at second base and Nolan Gorman to start at third base. So, and he started on the infield with the other starters. Today he played short. He had been playing second. He led off and played short. 0 for 2 with a run. He walked once today. So 7 at-bats in the spring so far. No hits, but he's got 4 walks.
Okay,
So he's getting on base. And then Victor Scott not in the lineup today. He'll be in the lineup tomorrow. Cardinals beat the Mets 6-0. I don't think I mentioned the Pirates final. The Braves beat the Pirates 3-1 with Paul Skeens on the mound early, taken out in the 3rd.
Should mention the Mountaineer women getting ready to tip off here in couple minutes at UCF. 2 games left for West Virginia. They look to lock down. If they win 2 more games, they'll lock down the number 2 spot in the Big 12 tournament. And one note as the starting lineup is released, Sydney Shaw took a shot to the head in their decimation of Oklahoma State the other day. She's in the starting lineup. So good news there.
Over under 29.5 turnovers forced.
They
over. They beat UCF by 312 points the first time they played,
I think they were under the 28
They were under.
turnover
So what do you want, 29.5 over
I'm going over again.
Over.
I went over last time.
I went under last time.
He was the only one that got it right the last time, but I'm going over again. So, all right, stay tuned for High School Sportsline. Good show coming up at 7:06. John Marshall, girls coach Brock Melko, and his standout Riley Storm will join us. Slade Barton, pitcher for Morgantown High, WVU signee. Swimmer Kenneth McLaughlin of George Washington, WVU signee. And then coaches Rick Green of George Washington, Travis Tarr of Winfield, James Beckman of East Fairmont, all coming up on High School Sportsline. Guys, we'll do it again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
That's the Sportsline. Thanks for listening and watching.
From the Health Plan Studios, the CityNet statewide Sportsline is an exclusive production of the Metro News Radio Network. All rights reserved.